I'm making hash browns tonight, and I'm making them without added oil, salt, or sugar, the SOS. So let's get started. I'll show you how to make it. Start off with 1 potato per serving, and we're just going to use a vegetable peeler and peel both potatoes. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. You get the idea. And next, we're going to work on shredding them. With one of the potatoes, I'm going to shred it in the food processor, and I have the shredder disc. And let's see how this goes. I'm not real good at this. Obviously. Alright, now let's do the other potato. For the second potato, I'm using my spiralizer. Actually, I'm going to put the big end here. Now the only other time I've made this is what I used. And I have the bigger disc in here that'll make the bigger spirals. So let's hope when it's on camera, it's making these swirly pieces of potato. Now that some of these are going to be too long, and I'm going to use the kitchen shears to snip them. And even this piece here that pulls out, I'm just going to cook that with it. And like I said, some of these come out really big, and by big I mean long. So I'm going to cut them with the kitchen shears that I didn't have handy. And I just hold them up and give them a snip like that. And I'm going to do this to the whole thing. The next thing I'm going to do is get out my largest non-stick pan. Now, if you don't want to use a non-stick pan, then you'll have to bake this. And baking it is fine, but I'm not going to show this in this video. However, if you click show more below the video, open up the description box, I'll put in the instructions for how to bake it instead of pan frying it. So we're not going to use any oil or anything, but we do need to preheat the pan, and we need to preheat it on medium-low. So this is going to cook slowly. So I'm just going to put the pan there and let it preheat. I probably could have done this while I was shredding the potato, but I didn't. So I'll let that preheat for a few minutes. Now that the pan is heated, I'm ready to add the potatoes. And you'll see that my pan really only holds these 2 potatoes well, and even 1 potato would be enough. So I'm deciding to put the spiralized down first because they're bigger, and then these from the food processor. And now we're going to let it cook for about 7 minutes, but we're going to check it in 5, and we're actually going to cover it. I can step around the camera. So I'm going to cover it now and check it in 5, and we'll see how brown they are in the bottom. It's been 5 minutes, so I'm going to check this. And they're starting to brown a little bit, so I'm just going to turn them over somewhat, but not a lot. I could sure use a bigger skillet. The idea is that they brown, but that they don't stick. Okay. Now, they didn't get too brown though. So now I'm going to give it another 5 or 6 minutes with the cover on. Since this recipe is to be no SOS, salt, oil, or sugar, you can add some other flavorings. So I have some chopped garlic here that I'm going to add in the second half of the cooking. Or you can chop up some onion, or you can chop up some herbs that you want, some fresh herbs. But that's optional. You don't have to do that. If you like it plain and you like it salted, you can just skip this and salt it at the end. check them again and turn them again. It's hard to turn them all at once. And they're getting a bit brown. The thing is, of course, the potatoes on the top aren't getting cooked as well as the ones on the bottom. So every 4 or 5 minutes or so, I'm going to turn it. And once in a while you can just taste a piece and you can tell how done they're getting. But now I'm going to actually put in the garlic, and I'm going to start off with the garlic mainly on the top because I don't want the garlic to burn. And I'll work it into the potato a little bit with the spatula. And I'm going to cover it and wait another 4 or 5 minutes. Alright, here we go. It's getting more and more cooked. I'm going to flip it. I don't know about you, but I like my potatoes to be really cooked, and now I'm flipping and losing. Potatoes are flying. My dog is whining. She wants a snack. So this is why you need a non-stick pan, because you need to be working it. Now, since I put garlic on mine, I really want that to cook. And I'm going to take out a couple little pieces here. If I can get it with the... I'm trying to get a small piece with the spatula. I still think it's not done enough for me anyway. So any that don't look done, make sure that they're touching the pan now. Alright. And I'm going to give it another 4 or 5 minutes covered. And testing again. Flipping. Oh, that looks better. There's a fine balance in this between letting it cook long enough so it gets brown on the part that's touching the pan, and letting it cook too long because, of course, there's no oil. If you really have a problem with sticking, you could add a little bit of water, but usually there's just so much water in the potato that, here, I brought a fork this time so that I can actually, oh, that's too big, taste one. And it's getting really close. I still see some pieces on here that are a little bit thick from the spiralizing. Since I have some potatoes that I shredded in the food processor and some from the spiralizing, they're different sizes. Spiralizer pieces are bigger, so that would be a reason to do them all the same. But I wanted to at least show you what they look like when they're not done the same. Okay, I'm going to do a few more minutes with the cover on. They're finally done. You can serve these right out of the pan, and so that's how you make a healthier hash brown without added oil.